Replace things like our stockings and the trees and that kind of stuff. So we did take advantage of the 50% off sale they were having on Black Friday over at Hobby Lobby. We picked up several items that they had there. So I'm just going to go through in no particular order. One of the first things that we got there was this gift wrap. It looks like the brown paper bags with these beautiful gold polka dots. When my daughter saw that, she fell in love. She has requested that her gifts be wrapped in this Christmas, so we picked her up one of those. The 50% off price ended up making this right around $4, I think, which is a little expensive for a gift wrap because I have a ton of free gift wrap I got last year with coupons. We didn't need wrap, but who can resist when your kids have a very special request for the holidays? So we picked that up for her. Because we had to get new stockings and we no longer have our mantle, we had to rip our fireplace out. We had to have a way to hang them this year. And because we're not exactly sure how the construction will end up, what we're going to end up putting everywhere, then I'm just going to probably set our stockings out on the counter this year and let them hang from there temporarily for this one Christmas. So of course we had to pick up some stocking hangers. So we got these at the 50% off, which ended up making some of these $10 each, and some of these I believe came down to like $8 each. They all were a little bit different price, but right around in there. We picked up an angel one. This will hold that white stocking for Jesus that we talked about in the holiday traditions. Of course, I had to get the snowman. Loved this little snowman. So cute. My husband picked out for him this gorgeous snowflake. That big snowflake right there. That will be his. My son picked out for himself this cute little dog. He has always loved dogs. He's never been able to have one just because of our situation here in our environment and our traveling and that kind of stuff. It was never conducive to have one. So he picked up that little dog, and my daughter fell in love with the reindeer. So this one will be hers. So we will be setting all these beautiful stocking hangers out probably just on the other side of our counter little island type thing this year and let them hang from there temporarily until we can figure out next year, hopefully, what we would want to do more permanently. So like I said, those were all 50% off. Some of those ended up being about $10 each, and some of them ended up being about $8 each over at the Hobby Lobby. Also at Hobby Lobby, I found a couple of decor items that I want to be able to display on my dining room table throughout this Christmas season. I found these beautiful candelabras. Can you see that candlestick? Has just a little bit of a flake of glitter in that silver. These were on sale for 50% off, which made those $15 each. And I know that's a little bit on the high side, even at a half off price. I typically like to go for things that are 75 or 90% off, but these were just so beautiful. And because of our situation the last few Christmases with the decor, I was willing to go ahead and pay just a little bit more to get these. So we got 2 of those. So basically it was like buy one, get one free with the 50% off sale. To go along with those candlesticks, we did pick up 2 of these beautiful, sparkly, glittery, beauticiousness. I don't even think that's a word. These candlesticks. Aren't they just fabulous? These pillar candles were also 50% off. So it was like a buy one, get one free for $13.99, but they are just They're beautiful. These sequins on there just sparkle so nicely, and that's going to be really pretty sitting on the dining room table. Of course, I will not burn these candles. These are only going to be for display and for show during that holiday season. So very pretty, I thought those were. Another thing that we picked up over at the Hobby Lobby were these beautiful turquoise poinsettia leaves, as well as the beautiful silver ones. I do plan to put all these together to make a beautiful centerpiece here for the dining room table that will set between those two candlesticks that I just showed you guys. These were 50% off, which ended up making those $8 for each bundle. They are simply gorgeous. And to go along with that centerpiece, I did pick up one of these silver, I don't even know what that is, but it's pretty, and it does look pretty in centerpieces. This was 50% off, making that $5. And I picked up a couple of these little turquoise beaded floral, not exactly sure what this is either, but they're just sparkly and beautiful. These were 50% off, making these $1.50 each. That was an incredible buy. So that we're going to put all together into some type of vase or whatever I can find around here. I'm going to try to utilize something that I already have to put that all together to make a pretty centerpiece for our Christmas dining room table. Also from Hobby Lobby, we had to pick up new stockings because of the situation here in the house and the contamination of our old ones. The funny thing about mold is that you can't always see it. Mold is very microscopic, and by the time you actually see it, you have so many millions of spores that things are just really out of control. So when you look at our stockings from last year or some of the other Christmas decor that we have, you don't see mold. It's not like you pick it up and think, oh, that's gross. But you can smell it, and you know that the contamination is in the fabric, in the material. So we decided that we're just going to go ahead and start fresh with some new ones. And we decided to go with pretty much a neutral color. We've always had red in the house, and those were very pretty and like a traditional Christmas color, but I kind of wanted to change things up just a little bit, and I wanted to go with the theme of the home, but I do realize that sometimes the themes in your home can change, and if you keep your walls and your base decor like a neutral color, then you can bring accents in with like a painted accent wall like we have here in the house in a couple of places, or your linens on your beds, or your curtains. Those kind of things can bring in the color that you like. But I am full aware that I might not always like teal. I can't imagine that, but I might not. So we decided to take our stockings a little more neutral this time. First of all, we did pick up a new tree skirt. This is like it's not really velvet, but it's not a velour either. It's kind of in between that fabric, and it's in a beautiful gray. And I'm not sure how well the camera is picking up those sparkly sequins that outline all the way around the edge of that skirting, but it is just gorgeous, and it is so pretty the way that these reflect the light in person. So when we get our tree up and all decorated, we'll be sure to show you how that turned out. But we did pick that up. And to match that, we did get the new stockings. Now, for my daughter and I, we picked up the ones that are definitely more sparkly. They have all the sequins along the front. It has that same kind of velour velvety material right here around the cuff of the stocking. And those will be mine and hers. And to go along with that, we picked up my son and my husband a matching gray stocking that is a little less flashy. You can still see all the glitter that is on there. So they're still very pretty, and they will go very pretty with the decor in the home, but they are just a wee bit more on the masculine side, and they were okay to settle with these while we were over there picking them out, since they weren't quite as flashy as the ones that I got for me and her. So those will be the 4 new stockings. These were also all 50% off. So the stockings we got for the guys ended up being just $5 a piece. And then the stockings that we got for me and her ended up being $6 a piece with that 50% off sale. But those are just gorgeous. I can't wait to get those up. Those are going to look pretty on those silver stocking holders that I've already showed you. Then, of course, if you watched our holiday traditions video, you know that every year we hang a beautiful white stocking right in the middle of all of our stockings to symbolize Christ, since the holiday is all about Him. So we did pick up a new white stocking. And I'm not sure, I can't tell from here if that's really picking up the beautiful sparkliness of this one. It does have some snowflakes in a silver glitter, and then it does have some sequins kind of mixed around, and it has this beautiful furry cuff along the top of the stocking. So we thought that was just really gorgeous and pretty, and that one will hang right in the middle like the white stocking always does. That one there was 50% off, making that one just $4.50 at Hobby Lobby. So those will be the new stockings and the new tree skirt that we're going to enjoy this year. That will match some of our home decor around here. And I think that pretty much sums it up for Hobby Lobby. We got quite a few decorative items from there to start setting out and decorating for Christmas. But yeah, I don't see anything else from Hobby Lobby. So that takes care of there. Stopping into Old Time Pottery today, I tell you, that store was incredible. If you have not yet watched Vlogmas Day 2, you can go and take a look at that, and I did show you some footage there from inside the store. They claim to be the largest Christmas store in that North Florida area there. I don't know how many mile radius that they're comparing themselves to. But I tell you, they're probably right on that claim. It was unbelievable the amount of aisles they had full of Christmas decor. And these aisles were not just little aisles. These were long aisles that had several rows tall. And it was just an incredible amount of Christmas product. If you guys have one near you, go check it out during this holiday season. They had some really cute stuff. Inside of Old Time Pottery, I did pick up the original ribbons that I was telling you about earlier in the haul. It was a turquoise and teal, real sparkly, glittery ribbon. It was gorgeous, but there were only 30 feet per roll, so you got 30 feet for the $5.99. When I found the stuff at Michael's, it was a much, much better deal. It's not quite as pretty as what they had at Old Time Pottery, but it's pretty enough to save all of that money and to get a lot more ribbon for the value. So I did go ahead and take that back, so I don't have it to show you, but I did just want to mention to you that if you're looking for a sparkly, really, really pretty glittery ribbon, that's a place to check out because they had some gorgeous stuff. So I am hoping that that turquoise glitter ribbon will hang around till after Christmas, and when they do their after Christmas sales and mark that stuff 50% off or more, then I can pick me up some for next year. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that one. So if anybody from Old Time Pottery by some miracle happens to be watching, save me some of that for your after Christmas sales and I'm coming to get it. I love that stuff. At any rate, we did pick up some items at Old Time Pottery, and see if I can get these out. I won't show you all of these because they're all the same, but I did pick up 3 of these garlands. These are the 9-foot garland that is a 10-inch diameter. They are really pretty, but they're flexible. They're nice and full, and you can bend each of the branches around, which is the kind of garlands that I like for like around your door frames or setting on a mantle or wherever you like to decorate with the garlands. I will be adding some ribbon to this and probably gluing in some ornaments and those kind of things, adding some lights to that to make this a pretty thing to put around because all of my garlands I've also got to get rid of. So we did pick up 3 of these. These 9-foot sections originally sell for $5.99, and we were able to pick these up for just $3.99. while they had their sale going on the other day. So I did pick up 3 of these 9-foot sections here, and we're going to see where we can get those put around this year. If these go on sale after Christmas again, then I probably will stock up on some more, because I love to like line my doorways. And we used to, I put some pictures in our Christmas traditions video. If you haven't seen that yet, go back and take a look at that one, because I inserted some pictures of how we used to decorate the house before we had to do all the reconstruction. And we always put the lighted garlands around all of the archways in the living room and kitchen and all that kind of stuff. And it was really, really pretty. So I've got to replace all that. And we're starting smaller this year, just replacing a few, and hopefully after Christmas we can pick up some more of those. So if you are in the market, I'm not sure how long that sale price is going to be going at Old Time Pottery, but if you're near one, stop in and take a look. You might can pick you up some of those garlands for a really good price. They did have the 6-inch diameter garlands for just $1.99, so if you like the smaller garlands, then that'd be a place to check out. At Old Time Pottery, they also had their light sets on sale. I can't remember how much we ended up paying for these. I want to say it was like $2.88, something like that. It was less than $3 that we paid. These are 100 clear bulbs on the green strands. So we picked up some of these to wrap around those garlands, and then also some to put on our tree here in the dining room. We picked up 4 boxes of the lights. That's been the cheapest place so far that we have found these in our area. I know closer to Christmas, places will be running a special to try to get rid of their lights before the end of the year inventory, but we didn't want to wait till the week before Christmas. So that's the cheapest place we've been able to find them so far. And then also at Old Time Pottery, we did pick up just a couple of little packs of ornaments. We picked up some of the, I'm trying to see how many is in there, 3, 6, 9, 10. There are 10 of these smaller size ornament balls. These are the glass ornament balls, but they got glitter in there. I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick up that glitter, if you can see it. But these are the turquoise ones. They're not super small, but I wouldn't consider them a medium size either. They're kind of in between a medium and small, if there is such a thing. But anyway, these were just $1.99 for 10 of those. So we did pick up 2 boxes to go on the tree here in the dining room, and I will incorporate these in with some silver balls that I already had from last year, but we're kind of changing some of the color schemes around. Last year on this miniature tree we had blue ornaments, and I'm not even sure, I think we picked up the blue just because I've always loved blue and silver together at Christmas time. I just think it's so pretty. It reminds me of the snow and just like an icy environment. And so we had picked up those as a temporary decor the last couple of Christmases, since we couldn't put up our big tree and all of our regular decorations. But this year that blue is simply not matching anything that we have. So we did pick up the turquoise ones. We'll incorporate that with the silver here in the dining room, and I think it's going to be super, super pretty. So anyway, I think that's finally everything. Of course, we did pick up some Christmas gifts while we were out shopping, but I can't show you guys that because that would give a big secret away. So we've got those hidden away here in the house so nobody can see that. And I think that's pretty much the big haul from the weekend. We had a great time. If you haven't been watching the Vlogmas videos and you get a couple of extra minutes, feel free to stop by and check that out. We take you into the stores with us and show you some of what's out there in case that you see something that catches your eye and you want to run and try to pick that up for yourself. At any rate, I just want to take a minute to thank you so much for sitting here with me today and watching this haul. I want to thank all of you who have been such a support to this channel, and a huge thank you to all of you new guys who have stopped by and subscribed or have just stopped by to check it out. I appreciate it so very much, and I hope you are all having a great holiday season so far. I hope that this is the merriest season that you have ever had. We will see you in the next video.